What's going on, guys? This is Patty Sky, the Price Action Queen. Today I'm going to show you how I made $1,200 in just 42 minutes. Let's get into it. Before you get started on any stock, you want to make sure that you have your support and resistance lines in place. Your support and resistance are important levels that the stock either usually bounces off of or gets rejected from. So let's get into this one. BYND is a recent stock, so it doesn't go back a full year. The initial public offering was on May 2nd. We can see the different levels that the stock has been rejected or either bounced off of. Let's start setting our lines. The first line, if we start from the bottom, would be 105.40. The next one, we can see that the stock attempted on June 7th to make a new high, and then it closed right around 139. We can see, if we look ahead up until September, that the stock bounced off several times. You see it in this area here in June, this area here in late June, and then this area in mid-August. That is a solid support for BYND. Let's zoom in a little bit. If we take another look, we can see that the stock bounces off of or gets rejected at this level here at 151.50. Remember, support and resistance lines don't have to be exact numbers, but it should be the general area. We see here, June 10th, that the stock closed above this level. We see here on June 14th, that it stopped right at this level. We see here on June 21st that it bounced and closed right above this level. And then here in July, we see some confusion. We see it laying on this level and it's not sure if it wants to drop below or go above. This shows that this level has a good amount of strength. Although this stock has gone to 239 in late July, we see the stock fall back around this level in the beginning of August. On August 15th, we see a big red candle drop below this area. We can confirm that this is a strong move with the volume candle down here. One of the most important ways that we confirm that a move is strong is by evaluating the volume. The volume is here below, and I have my volume bars set to red and green. The red and green both show who's in control for that specific candle. As we see here on 8/6, there is a big red candle. The candlestick on the chart does not have to match the same color as the volume candle. The volume pretty much just means who is more aggressive that day or that specific time period. So back to support and resistance. As we can see, the next level that we see some support or some rejection is the 155.50 area. So let's draw a line there. After the 155.50 area, we see that 158.50 is also an important area. This may seem tedious, but it's extremely important to know what levels the candles are bouncing off of. As we take a closer look, we can see that the next level that is extremely important is 160. 160 is a psychological number because everyone would like to see the stock touch this number. Now that we have our levels set according to the current levels that we're at, let's take a closer look at a smaller time frame. Going into the 30-minute time frame, we can see how important our 1 day, 1 year levels are. You should always start from the 1 year chart and move into your closer charts, all the way into the 5-minute chart. If we take a look at August 23rd, we can see that Beyond bounced off of that 151.50 area that we had charted earlier. It closed right at the level of 155.50, which we also charted earlier. Beyond hit 172 on August 30th and then was rejected. If we take a closer look, we can see that down here by the volume with the red bars, that sellers started to kick in. Let's take a closer look into why I anticipated that the stock would work in my favor based on my trade. On Friday, September 6th, we see that the 151 area definitely showed a strong support. If we look at the first candle on the 30-minute chart, we do see a large amount of sellers who are trying to push the stock down. We have our sellers sitting at 155.50, an area that we talked about earlier, and we see it bounce off of the 151 area, which we see that buyers are clearly sitting at. If we zoom in, we see that it made several attempts. One attempt here, one attempt here, one attempt here, and it failed to follow through. So now I'm going to switch my 30-minute chart to a 5-minute chart. This is going to give me a better idea of how I should enter the market. Again, Friday, we failed to push past 155.50. So what I am looking for Monday morning, is this stock going to reach 155.50? Is it going to get rejected? Is it going to bounce off of 151.50? Or is it going to fall through? I usually like to use the 5-minute chart because it gives me a better idea of where the stock is heading. It shows a little bit more strength than the 1-minute chart where it's easy to get faked out. What I'm looking for is to see this pass the 155.50 area with strength, or fall through 151.50 with strength, or bounce off of one of these levels. And that way I'll be able to determine how I should enter this trade. I anticipated that this stock would either touch the 151.50 area of support or drop below. Below that area is our support level of 148. So I snagged 10 contracts anticipating that the stock will drop to the 148 area. Let's see what happens. I fast forward the time to 10:45 and look, we see that here at 9:40, there was a big fall through that support area of 151.50. It dropped all the way down to 147.60. We see that here at 148, that this is where buyers stepped in. And how can we confirm? If we zoom in, we see here at 10:05, the stock opened at 148.63 and it closed at 148.30. We take another look at the next candle and we see that it opened at 148.35, dropped all the way down to 147.63, but it ended up closing a lot higher at 149. This can confirm that buyers were ready and sitting there to step in. After that candle, we see a big volume candle to confirm that buyers are here and they're not ready to let the stock drop down below 148. We see that this level was tested again at 10:25. Buyers stepped in once again. This can confirm that the buyers are ready, they're sitting there, and they're not ready to let this stock drop below. I closed my position once I saw this green candle and confirmed that buyers stepped in. With that being said, the contracts had gone up from 260 to 380. I did this all by 10:42, being 42 minutes into the market. So to simplify this trade, I bought 10 contracts at 260 and sold the 10 contracts at 380. This is equivalent to $1,200 profit. This is why it's so important to know your support and resistance levels. You need to have these charted or you will not know the direction of the stock. Another thing that you want to pay attention to once you have your support and resistance levels charted, the volume. Who is being more aggressive? Are the sellers more aggressive or are the buyers more aggressive? As we can see here, in the first 30 minutes of the day, the sellers were a lot more aggressive than the buyers. But where did the buyers step in? We can clearly see between 10 and 10:15 that the buyers stepped in with strength, and we have volume to confirm down here. Having your support and resistance levels charted and understanding the volume confirmation through each level are the two most important things you need to understand where the stock is headed to be able to enter and exit at the best levels. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel by clicking this picture right here. I post a new video every week. You're not going to want to miss it. That's this week's video, and I'll see you guys next week.